안녕하세요. Riding on the Korean wave. Welcome to Friday's edition of The Culture Wave. I'm Kwon Soa in Seoul. Explore with us Korea's culture from all aspects and stay up to date with K-entertainment, K-design, K-film, K-everything. Now joining me today is our co-host Bella Kim. Bella, happy Friday.
Happy Friday, Soa, and happy Friday to everyone joining us today on The Culture Wave. I'm Bella, here to co-host and fill you guys in with the latest in K-entertainment.
And we're also joined by Arirang's news features reporter Park Hyobin. Hello, Hyobin.
Hi, Hyobin.
Hi, Soa. Hi, Bella. And hello, everyone. My name is Park Hyobin, and I'm a news features reporter here at Arirang News. Thank you so much for having me today.
Hyobin, from art shows to lifestyle fairs, it's been a busy week here in the city and in the country. A lot of events happening, and you have been where recently?
So actually, I have a question for you guys. So are you guys a big fan of designing or decorating your house or your space?
I actually might get really into it because recently I met a world-renowned designer and he just launched a special collection of tableware and home objects.
Wow.
So yes, that encounter opened my eyes towards home furnishing, but I might have to clean up my room first.
I mean, I'm pretty clean when it comes to my house because I'm actually minimalist. I try to, keep things simple. So I don't like huge decorations, but I do love to put those little cute things around my house.
I mean, same. I really like decorating my house as well. And so in line with that, so South Korea's biggest living and lifestyle fair is now underway here in Seoul. So I went on opening day to check out the latest design trends. Let's take a look. A fresh burst of creativity is filling the capital this week, drawing crowds eager to discover how design shapes modern living. South Korea's largest living and lifestyle show, the Maguk Living Design Fair, has kicked off at the COEX Maguk in Western Seoul. On an autumn day, visitors flock to explore furniture, decor, and smart home ideas, right in time for the moving and wedding seasons.
I found this event very nice, actually. My partner brought me here because she's working in design. And I find everything amazing, actually. I never thought it was going to be that big. It's very nice.
This year's theme, The Absent House, A Certain House, asks what kind of home we truly need. Some 140 brands are presenting fresh concepts across 8 themed zones, where function meets unique material and technology meets emotion. There are modular tables that can be assembled in different ways, along with furnitures that you could paint in your own colors, reflecting South Korea's growing one-person living trend. Sustainable pieces also stood out, from eco-friendly interiors to artful designs crafted with recycled plastic.
The bottle caps are first collected by NGOs and other non-profit groups, then sorted by senior citizens. We crush and reuse them, so about 2,000 caps go directly into each piece of furniture. This process greatly reduces carbon emissions, and the items can be recycled multiple times.
A key highlight is that online furniture and decor are gathered in one place, inviting visitors to experience them firsthand. Moreover, a special gallery, The Six Hue, allows visitors to wander through 6 colorful rooms, reimagining space through the language of color. Workshops with emerging artists have turned the venue into more than a showroom, a place where guests can create decor items and share the joy of making. The fair runs until this Sunday, showcasing the latest design trends that shape our lives.
Well, what a treat for the eyes. And I want one of those disco balls that we saw in the video. But Hyobin, tell us a little bit more about this fair.
Same. I really wanted the disco ball as well. I mean, for those who love designing the house, I think it's the perfect place to be. So I actually saw a lot of people holding those huge bags stacked with stuff, and I was very, very jealous with them as well. So one of the organizers actually told me that aside from the traditional idea of a house, the meaning of home has become much smaller in size and smaller in number of people involved. Especially here in South Korea, the number of single-person households surpassed 10 million at the end of this last year. So the brands emphasize simplicity and customization in line with society's changes.
There were so many different designs, so I can't choose my favorite. But the furniture that was made from the recycled bottle caps, that really stood out because it has those meaningful message of protecting the environment while pursuing artistic design. But Hyobin, what else stood out for you at the exhibition?
Actually, I saw a lot of brands and everything was actually very unique and also creative as well. But besides the brands that I mentioned in my coverage, so there were also many that focused on sustainability. So one brand used next generation interior materials that cut carbon emissions during production, combining eco-awareness with technology and aesthetics. While beautiful and outstanding design is important, it was also inspiring to see how living trends evolve to reflect the values society care about the most.
Hope to see more of that happening. And thank you very much for that wonderful coverage, Hyobin.
Thank you. It was my pleasure.
And now it's time for some K-entertainment news with Bella Kim. Bella, let's start off with a heartwarming story.
That's correct. RM from BTS donated 200 million Korean won, that's about 144,000 US dollars to 2 domestic hospitals today. That's Friday, Korea time. The donation was made in hopes of participating in a meaningful cause on his birthday. RM donated 100 million won each to Seoul Asan Hospital and Korea University Medical Center as sponsorship funds and development funds, respectively. Seoul Asan Hospital plans to use the funds to support treatment and surgery costs for economically vulnerable or underprivileged patients, and Korea University Medical Center also plans to use the funds to improve medical treatment environments and also expand various medical services. RM has consistently spread a positive influence by donating in various forms every year on his birthday, September 12th. That's today. So happy birthday, RM.
Happy birthday, RM, and thank you, RM.
I know.
And Bella, on a different note, please fill us in on the updates on the New Jeans Adore dispute.
Right. On Thursday, the Seoul Central District Court oversaw the second mediation session between New Jeans and their agency Adore. The members of New Jeans did not attend the mediation session, and it just concluded within 20 minutes with no progress made on any settlement between the two sides. Similarly, during the first mediation session back in August, neither side was able to agree on a settlement. As a result, the court will now rule on the case on October 30th. The lawsuit first began in August of last year after Adore dismissed former representative Min Hee-jin, and New Jeans notified Adore of termination of their exclusive contracts. New Jeans maintained the position that Adore committed a violation of their exclusive contracts, justifying their reason to terminate the contracts. Adore, on the other hand, is still in position that the exclusive contracts between the two remain valid.
Let's see what's going to happen next month. And finally, Bella, a new Netflix series coming out today.
Netflix series You and Everything Else, or 윤중과 성현 in Korean, is coming out today, Friday, on Netflix. It follows two women whose bond stretches from their teenage years to their 40s, charting a shifting landscape of envy, longing, and reconciliation. Actors Kim Go-eun and Park Ji-hyun take on a sweeping story of admiration, resentment, and forgiveness. Director Do Young-min described the project as a story about two friends across nearly 30 years. At times they admire each other, at times they resent each other. You and Everything Else aim to resonate across all generations throughout its 15 episodes.
Well, something to look out for on the weekend. Well, thank you very much, Bella, for those updates.
Yes, I'll stick around.
And now let's go over to our AI anchor, Adi, for other culture-related news. Adi?
Hello and welcome to your AI guide to the latest cultural updates from Korea. Here's our top story. The 2025 K-Beauty Expo Korea has opened at Kinteksin, Goyang, boasting its largest scale to date. This year's expo brings together over 500 companies from 12 countries, marking an increase of 130% from last year. The expo saw strong participation from the Middle East and Africa, where involvement has traditionally been limited, underscoring K-Beauty's expanding global presence. It features export consultations and global conferences for businesses, as well as various programs for the general public, such as prize events and a stamp tour. Various commemorative events will be staged in Korea's southernmost Jeju Island next weekend, celebrating the unique culture of Haenyeo, Jeju's iconic women divers. The 18th Jeju Haenyeo Festival and the 8th Haenyeo Day ceremony will take place in Jeju City, centering around the Jeju Haenyeo Museum. The festival will showcase celebratory performances, a haenyeo diving contest, and various interactive programs for visitors. Other highlights include a museum tour celebrating the legacy of haenyeo, recognized as a UNESCO Intangible Cultural Heritage of Humanity. Globally acclaimed conceptual artist Kim Soo-ja has opened her first solo exhibition in Korea in a decade. Titled To Breathe, Seonhaewon, it transforms the historic architecture of Seonhaewon, a traditional Korean house, into an immersive, luminous environment by covering the floor with over 400 mirrors. The site-specific installation blurs the boundaries between space, light, and the visitor's presence, while fostering a deeper connection between contemporary art and Korean heritage. Kim is best known for her works that explore themes of migration and memory. The exhibition runs through October 19th. That's all from me. Stay tuned to the Culture Wave.
Busan International Film Festival, Korea's and one of Asia's representative film events, will kick off in less than a week. The city, known for its cinema and beaches, turns into a huge celebration venue, bringing together filmmakers and film lovers from around the world. Let's take a peek into what we can expect at this year's event with our movie expert Jae So, professor and filmmaker at Seoul Institute of the Arts. So welcome back, Professor So. Happy Friday.
Hi, Professor.
Happy Friday.
All right, so at this year's BIF, we have even more to celebrate because it's the 30th anniversary. So what's the significance of this event, and also what does the city of Busan mean to filmmakers?
Well, I just remember, it's one of my favorite festivals because I volunteered for the festival early on. And I remember director Park Kwang-soo's a famous director. He's on the sort of the board for the film festival. He told me that they chose Busan because it's sort of like the second biggest city in Korea. Also, it's kind of a cultural hub for many different people coming from Asia and all around Europe and things like that. So they wanted to establish another city besides Seoul. And really, I think they made a wise choice. And of course, as you said, Busan is a kind of a cultural hub. And I think with sort of like right now, K-pop Demon Hunters is huge. And I always think when people come over, they're like, they want to see Seoul, they want to go to Jeju-do, they want to go to Busan. So Busan has a big significance. And also this year, as you said, it's the 30th anniversary. So it's 30 years old. And it's the biggest film festival so far. They have 241 films from 64 countries. That's a lot. And basically they've extended the film festival to more venues and more films. And this year, I think there's a huge cachet of filmmakers and stars. You have Marco Bellaccio, also Guillermo del Toro. You have Sean Baker. These are all big names in cinema. And then you have people like Juliette Binoche, famous actress, and Mia Jovovich from Resident Evil. They're all coming here, so it's going to be a huge celebration, in Busan.
Sounds exciting, and I'm also excited about the opening film because it's director Park Chan-wook's No Other Choice, or 어쩔 수가 없다. And I mean, it already received a standing ovation at the Venice International Film Festival, and the premiere in Korea is at BIFF. So how do you expect the response to be from the public?
It's one of the most anticipated movies. It hasn't released in Korea yet, but I think when I was here 2 weeks ago, we were hoping that it won the Venice Film Festival, but unfortunately, another filmmaker I really respect, Jim Jarmusch, won that. But I think no other choice, basically one of the best filmmakers in Korea is Park Chan-wook, so he's coming back. And this movie, as I mentioned 2 weeks ago, it's a sort of a black comedy about the main character is played by Lee Byung-won, and it's about somebody that loses their job, and they'll go to extreme lengths to try to get a new job. And it's sort of a unification of Park Chan-wook's, basically his first big hit was Joint Security Area, which starred Lee Byung-won. So we're all looking forward to this movie. Yeah, that's for sure.
Definitely. And Lee Byung-won will also be hosting at the BIFF as well. So that's also something to look out for as well. And it's actually, this year is the first time BIFF is introducing a competition section, right? So what does this mean in terms of reputation of BIFF? And is there any film that you're kind of paying attention to?
Well, personally, I think it's unfortunate that they're having competition section. They didn't have it because what it means is if you have a competitive section in the film festival, it means every other film festival in the world, like Cannes or Venice or Berlin, they're gonna be like, which film is Busan gonna present? So everybody is sort of very jealously guarding the type of films that they choose for their competition section. Fortunately for 29 years, Busan didn't have that, so they were able to showcase movies that won awards from other festivals. But since they're going to do it, I think it's a good time to do it on its 30th anniversary. And I want to recommend 3 films. One of the films is a Korean film, and one of the cool things about this section is there are a lot of first-time directors. So we have a director, Lee Ji-han, and it's a movie called By Another Name. That is featured. And then this movie, it's sort of like, when I saw the trailer, it looked like a very homage to Hong Sang-soo, slow moving takes, but it seemed to be very self-reflective and beautiful. And then there's a movie by a Japanese filmmaker called Shoei Miyake called 2 Seasons, 2 Strangers. And basically that movie it has Shim Eun-kyung, the actress, Korean actress. She's one of the stars of that movie, and this movie won at the Locarno, the Golden Leopard film. And then the third film I want to introduce is another Japanese filmmaker's film called Leave the Cat Alone by director Daisuke Shigaya. And in this movie, in the trailer, what I noticed is it's just visually stunning because, again, camera's really far away, shooting objectively, a lot of shots of just following the characters. So I think those films kind of reflect both the emerging kind of Asian, filmmakers that are coming out as the new generation of filmmakers to watch.
I'm especially excited about the movie with Shim Eun-kyung because having a Korean actress speaking perfectly in Japanese and acting is really not an easy thing.
Right.
Yeah, her career, she did basically Sunny.
Yeah.
She's famous for movies like that, and she was a huge star here. And then she went over to Japan and did a lot of work there. And she's come back now, and she was starred in the movie The Killers in 2023 recently. Yeah.
We'll definitely look out for those 3 movies that you have mentioned. How about programs? Is there any special programs that viewers or visitors could look out for?
Yeah, this year, the 30th anniversary, they have a lot of special programs. There's a section called Defining Moments of Asian Cinema. There's also Marco Bellocchio, the filmmaker who never stopped raising his fist, so his movies are kind of special. We also have a section on Juliette Binoche, Between Motion and Emotion. And there's one section that I want to introduce called Carte Blanche. As you know, carte blanche in French means blank check. And this is a section that's kind of special because it features not movies by the filmmakers, but movies that filmmakers and people on this, sort of the programmers who are special, that influence them, movies that influence them. So, for example, Bong Joon-ho, the director. We have Maggie Kang, who just directed K-pop Demon Hunters. We have the actor Kang Dong-won. We have a novelist Eun Hee-young, and then we have Son Seok-ki, who's sort of a journalist and anchor.
Right.
And so these are movies in this section where they're going to introduce the people that program them. They're going to talk about how those movies were sort of like influential in their lives.
Wow, what a lineup and very exciting programs. And the Busan International Film Festival also, of course, serves as a marketplace for the film industry itself and also to exchange ideas between directors and actors. Especially this year, we're seeing many renowned people from the film industry coming to BIF. So how meaningful is that for Busan and Korea?
Well, it's a really great honor, and also, you know, I've participated in that market before as a producer, and it's really a kind of a wonderful opportunity to meet sort of people that are coming to buy your films. So it's really like a market in the commodities films, and so we also call it APM for Asian Project Market. And in this one, this year, as you said, some renowned people from Bollywood. We have Alia Bhatt, who's a huge star of Bollywood cinema. She has a film that her mother directed, which is really interesting. So we have that. We also have director Kapadia with a movie called Twilight of a Warrior that's coming in. And also we have a lot of movies by movie director from Hong Kong, Chiang. So this section is where basically it's a project that's already been made or projects that are being developed. So I just remember when you go to the market, it's really kind of, you know, instead of going to a flea market, you're in a market where everybody's talking about the movies that you already made. So you're really sitting there showing trailers, and sort of you have a kit to show the people, and then, you know, you would have a buyer from Spain coming in saying, you know, what kind of movie it is and things like that. And when I was there, I was trying to sell a movie we're about to make with a script and everything. So that's one of the great attractions about Busan, is that you're able to go there and sort of experience all this as well.
Definitely. And it's actually now the 30th year of BIF. And BIF is becoming a reason for foreign tourists to visit Busan and Korea as well. So what impact do you think such film festival like BIF has on the tourism aspect or the cultural aspect of Busan and Korea?
Yeah, as I mentioned before, you know, Busan's the second largest city in Korea, and it seems like it's a course now for a lot of people that come because of K-pop and K-dramas, is that they visit Jeju Island, they go to Busan. And I think because the film festival has been there for 30 years, I know that everybody in Busan, they have a pride, sort of like what people in Bucheon have about their festivals, that they feel like it's now sort of their, sort of the pride of having this kind of incredible world event happening in their city. And so you have sort of a cultural hub happening where all these tourists are coming, not just to visit Korea, but also to meet stars from the festival. And this year we're getting, you know, big stars from like basically all the corners of Asia, Europe, United States, all kind of congregating in this one spot. And I think, I still remember when I went to the first Busan Film Festival, like I think it was the third one. And it wasn't as developed as this one. We didn't have like, you know, cinemas, and it wasn't showing at movie theaters. But I just remember you have the fish markets in Busan, really famous. And afterwards, you go to have a drink and soju with like soju and fish over there. And then you just meet famous people everywhere. You just turn around and it was just like stars everywhere. So I would definitely recommend everybody going to the film festival if they're really interested in that.
All right, and last but not least, Professor So, you did mention some of the recommendations among the competitive section, but which movies are you looking forward to?
So this is a section called the Icon section, and this one, there's two films that I want to introduce. One is called Begonia, which I think I mentioned in the last time I came. And this is a Yorgos Lanthimos. He's a really hot director. And this is a remake of a Korean movie called Save the Green Planet by Jang Jun-han. And this one has Emma Stone and Jesse Plemons. And basically, it's the same story. It's about these kind of like low-life, you know, crook kind of people. They kidnap a really powerful CEO thinking that she's an alien. So it's like Yorgos Lanthimos' movies are kind of really special already, so I think it's going to be really exciting. And then another movie is called A Big, Bold, Beautiful Journey by Kogonaga, and he's a Korean filmmaker, Korean-American, and he's known for movies like After Yang, and he also directed, you know, basically a lot of OTT series. So in this movie, it stars Margot Robbie and Colin Farrell, huge names, right? And it's a kind of a love story about two people like, what if they had done this type of thing, and they fall into a fantasy world both of them are experiencing. And this director's really exciting because he's sort of like a Korean guy, but he was like does all his work in America. So I think right now with like a series like K-pop Demon Hunters, it's time for a lot of Kyopos or Korean Americans sort of shine in the limelight right now. So.
And we do see that happening quite a lot these days. Well, thank you very much, Professor Soo, for your insights. And we hope that the 30th anniversary of BIF will be a big success and that we can even expand further our film industry to the world.
Definitely. Thank you, Professor.
Thank you.
Thank you. And thank you, Bella, as always. Have a great weekend, and we'll see you back next week.
Yes, I'll see you back next week.
Thank you for spending the past half an hour with us on the Culture Wave. Have a culture-filled weekend, everyone, and we'll be back next week, Monday to Friday, 2 p.m. Korea time.